All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of David E. Taylor JMMI Fan Club, where everybody's opinion is a lie. David E. Taylor, we're going to talk about your stage again today, man. And you are a piece of shit, by the way. And this is with regards to we're going to talk everything about your stage today, David, because the information that I've researched and I've plugged into our intelligent members' heads and stuff like that that have that know about the logistics of what you're doing. Listen up, David. This is for you. Most display houses will allow what you is called minor changes, moving a trim board over an inch, maybe selecting a different but same price, color, finish, etc. If you communicate with them, David, but you're not. You've been in shutaway. You don't communicate with anybody. You're in shutaway. If you communicate with the display house, they will work with you. On a project like this, it requires weekly meetings by Zoom and maybe a monthly or halfway point update meeting. At this point, it is common to make secondary or second of third payments. David, you should have pulled a loan for this. And the name of the place, guys, I did the research on this place. We were able to find out who's building it, and the name of it is Movie Prop Rentals. It's down in Gladeview, Florida. I've done the research. It's a legitimate company, professional, very professional. They build professional movie sets and stages. That's what they do. No way am I here to dog or bag them. I've seen the work they do, and they do amazing work, guys. Well, I would shout out to them, really. So they've done a lot of movie sets that I've seen, and I'm aware of their work. And these guys are no bullshit, man. So David's in over his head where he's having this movie production set build or whatever he's calling it, his Miracle Arena Crusade bullshit, right? On a project like this, David, it requires weekly meetings by Zoom and maybe a monthly or halfway point update meeting, right? It's going to require those. What worries these display houses, David, is when you miss meetings or push them back, right? From what I understand, this display should have taken about a year to build, like 8 months to a year, but it's going on its third year, right? That may be fine for you, David, but it can shut down production or delay purchasing from ordering materials, especially if there's a long delay or purchase items are non-refundable, non-returnable, David. So what you're doing, you're really creating a bottleneck. It sounds like for this with your set, it's almost like creating a bottleneck for this production company. That's what it sounds like, just from an outside perspective, looking at it from a logistical side. You're causing your stage is probably a fucking headache for these people right now. That's just my opinion. Anybody else thinks so? Leave your comment below and let me know what you think, man. People who do a one-time display such as this don't understand the importance of these meetings. Secondly, David, the display house is a moving unit. David, you got to think of this as a moving. They are. These guys are building, pushing sets out, moving parts, forklift. It is a moving, functioning machine. What these people do, David, and you don't understand that. You don't even know what machine is. So, your project, David, at 100% is scheduled to be designed, built, shipped within a set time period. Okay, uh, built and shipped within a time period. So three things: built, shipped, and time. Okay, three things that this company is going to do. They're going to build it, they're going to ship it within a certain amount of time. David, if you're not going to meet those basic requirements, the display house will build in cost to cover such delays. Here's where the inflation comes in, right? We'll talk about lumber and inflation and cost of that here in a little bit, because this is a good information. The research I did, I was able to pass this on to some professionals that are into this kind of thing within our group, David, and this is the data they spit back to me. And David, these are professionals. These are people that are in our group. Again, I will not name sources, but this is somebody in our group that's been sitting back, watching, and being like, "This guy's fucking full of shit. He ain't gonna do it." And this is why. This is why. Here it is in black and white, saying this isn't gonna happen. There's no fucking way. Just think of this display. It's so large they cannot start work. They cannot start or work on other projects in that build space. 100%. Here's an example. It's like someone coming over and taking over your garage to replace his car engine, telling you it'll only be 30 days. 120 days later, your cars are still parked outside, his car is torn apart in your garage, and now you have to deal with the snow and elements while your buddy's car sits in your garage. Meanwhile, David's sitting in his fucking residential center, like, yeah, this is all good. Everything's good with the stage. I don't gotta worry about it. But no, you know who's worried about it? Is the fucking production company. They're worried about it because they're having to move that fucking piece of shit around to probably make space to do fucking work, man. The display house ultimately is responsible for the production, so they cannot go and set unfinished projects outdoors facing the elements, so they are screwed with any delays. Like, they have to protect that project, basically. The production company is going to do that. For the storage area, if he stores the display on used trailers, they often leak, have sidewall or door leaks, high highway miles, rusted frames, etc. Maybe rotted boards out on the inside, bad axles, you never know. Many used trailers are not roadworthy. If anyone finds a semi-trailer and it's a steal, good chances you won't be able to license nor insure it. Right? Because DOT has some pretty strict restrictions on, licensing vehicles like that. Often trailers with minor repairs are often assigned local use only, meaning they cannot be driven cross-country. The reason for this is the cost is greater than the repair value. I believe that's exactly what David did with these trailers that he bought. The cost is greater than the repair. It will cost more to repair them than he actually paid for them. Secondly, the trailers will not meet some geographical requirements, mountain, high winds, snow, etc., causing damage to the freight. We'll talk about that here in a minute, though. So you want, and no doubt with the production company, they're going to build crates to store that design on, that set on to protect the wood and everything. I can only imagine. I'm trying to figure out what's like that. The designer who's on the project, like, what is that person thinking, man? Like, what did he get himself into? I wonder if that person's ever like questioned, like, shit, what did I get myself into with this project? It's a dead end project if you're watching movie prop rentals. It's a dead end project. David has no plan of picking it up or ever driving his trucks down there to receive it, I believe. I don't think he will. Why? He doesn't have the manpower to do it or the vehicles necessary to do it. He just doesn't. It's a dead-end project. He's blowing money on it. Thirdly, David, there are many 45, 46, and 48-foot trailers for sale, and the reason why is it's too expensive to haul when you can pull 53-footers, adding another 4 to 12 pallets of goods on the back end, making the load revenue higher. This could be the difference between making a profit or not. Profit and loss, right here, David. If the display house isn't made notice of the trailer size, panels could end up not fitting, only one panel per truck, forcing David to buy more trucks and trailers, right? 100%. If David's display is 250 feet as he claims, right? Or what he say is like 150 feet wide or something like that, I can't remember. If David's display is 250 feet overall and you divide that by 4, you get 62 feet 5 inches. In other words, the panels have to be broken down in length small enough to fit on a trailer and inside a container, right? Again, the containers will house like the stuff for the set and everything. Because David can't use this set for anything else but what? It's funny, like, to think this set can only be used for David. He can't sell this set anywhere else. What's he gonna do with it? Who's gonna buy it? Fucking Red Hot Chili Peppers or some shit? No. So, we think, all right. This is our confidant. I call him ours because he's not mine. I think he's part of our group. So we think the trailers have become a huge issue. Maybe known or not acknowledged, or the display house said, to ship this, it's going to take X amount of trailers of this size. Remember, David, even the trailer heights vary on trailers. If you're not communicating, the display house may just go ahead and build the containers for the display, figuring David is shipping them on 53 footers via Ryder or one of the brokers. David, your display will take the entire space on the trailer, all right? Kind of like you will probably in one of the mansions. Take the entire space. So David, if you plan to have those other beauty kitchen, barber shops, and job search and medical trailers, you'll need to have a small fleet coming down to 10 to 12 trucks, all right? And trailers. Sorry, but that is the size of a small regional shipping company, David. way in over your head. So David said he's going to do barbershops and these work trailers and all this other crazy shit. Let's sit here and think about this for a second, guys. Okay, so if he's going to move the trailer, he's going to need trucks and trailers, right? But he's also talked about converting those over. So which scam are you going to do, David? Are you going to convert the trailers over, or are you going to use it to pick up your stage? Because you can't have both. You can only have one or the other, David. In actuality, you can't have both. You can't have the trucks with the stage and then convert them over to a barbershop and all this other crap that you've been talking about. You can't do it. It won't work, dude. It won't work. It's a completely idiotic idea. And it's just not going to work, dude. It's going to cost you millions. To operate something like that, David, cost you millions, all right? Drivers have to be licensed and qualified. And nobody, David, is going to drive trucks for free in the 8th year of a nationwide driver shortage. This is true. This is an 8th year nationwide driver shortage because truckers are just getting shaft, man. They're getting fucked over. The truckers move a lot of logistics through our country, man. You'd be surprised. If the trucking stopped, man, a lot of stuff would stop. We have rail carts and stuff and airplanes, but a lot of the stuff is moved on the roads, man. Okay, moving on. David. You cannot go and unload this display as it would require a dock, one hell of an open space warehouse, 100%, forklifts, a crew, everything. Just storing this, the loading and unloading will cost thousands plus insurance. It is another useless money drain, 100%. Money drain, David. Huge money drain on this idea. And the thing is we're sitting back here watching you do it, and all your cult crony, we're sitting here like, dude, this is a dumbass idea, and everybody's sitting here, yeah, this is a great idea, David. Let's build a stage, and we'll go around the USA, and we'll heal people of cancer. Not gonna happen, guys. Not gonna happen. Because David is a false prophet. He's a scam artist. He's laundering money. The list goes on. I believe he's also trafficking indirectly. But that's just my opinion, guys. But given the circumstances of what I've seen recently, especially out of the, Sarah Lawrence College up in New York, where that dude just got convicted of 15 counts for sex crimes, extortion, prostitution, and it was all because he was running a sex cult out of his daughter's dorm room college with her friends. Moved in, basically started brainwashing all her friends and was abusing them physically, emotionally, everything. And there's videos of him doing it, which it only took the jury's 5 hours to deliberate, and they came back with 15 out of 17 counts guilty. One of the counts, the trafficking, carries a life sentence, so this guy's going to prison for life. He's never getting out of jail. Never getting out of jail. I believe David is running a full-blown money laundering, abusive, forced labor sex cult. That's what I believe. That is my solid opinion. Am I wrong? I could be, but given what we've seen with David's behavior, there's some really weird shit going on there. Back to this, David. Back to your stage. So if David or anyone goes out and purchases trailer on good deals, or tells the salesperson this is for limited use, the salesperson may take this as just around the city use, especially if they come in and ask for the least expensive trailer, right? You'd be like, all right, sell this sack of shit, the fucking most piece of shit trailer we got out here. Seen it happen too many times. Many of these trailer discount places are crooks with sales guys coming and going, paid mostly on commission, right? They sell $2,500 trailer, you're going to get like, what, 10%? Or whatever their commission is, 9%, I don't know. They don't give two shits about it, as most are sold as is or very limited warranty, because those are the ones they can't insure. David, you entered a world where they have no knowledge, or were in a situation that was... You were in a situation that was 100% avoidable, David. If you had an outside board of real people, educated, smart, financially sound people, which you don't, okay? Which you don't. David does not have any financial accountability anywhere within his cult. He's laundering money. He's laundering money. And I just want to get another thing out too. My channel is being actively suppressed right now too still. Anytime I put something about laundering money within the title, oh man, they take it out of the algorithm, dude. YouTube does not want that in the algorithm, that a church is laundering money. It's weird. And I just want you guys to be aware of that. If you're not getting my notifications, it's because my channel's suppressed right now. It has been. It's weird. And it's keywords. If I put money laundering, child abuse, cult, it's like they take that shit out of the algorithm. All right. I'm putting videos up about these stuff because I want people to be aware. Catherine Creek is still doing the shit with children, and it's really fucking disgusting. Okay, back to the accountant. If you had a board, David, of real people, okay, with the voting power and authorization to sign off on any $1,000 expense, you guys would probably be doing pretty well, David. You'd probably be doing pretty well. The board would not go for the residential center bullshit, building a one-sided full arena length display or getting them into a trucking business. You can have urgent care services, but most of those are subcontracted out by the pros, right? David, you had good ideas, dude. You really did. With the trailers, you probably would have been cool just converting the trailers into hospitality trailers. 100%, dude. You had a fucking badass idea, David. I will give you that, dude. 100%. But if you just went about it the right way, you dumbass, it would have worked. Fuck the stage, dude. You should... Dude, your stage is just... Church members should be irate, and the dollar amount wasted. 100%. Millions have been wasted on this stage idea that's not going to work, everybody who in David's cult. If you guys get a hold of this... I know David won't let you watch my videos, but David... I know for a fact this stage isn't going to work. We all know it's not going to work, David. We know that for a fact. Someone should do a video listing the estimated cost versus what Kingdom has already built with cameras. It could be set up like this. Our source was so kind to do it for us. So thank you. It would look something like this. And they got it kind of broken down. What it would kind of look like for the cost of just... We're not even talking to rent out the arena yet, okay, guys? All costs are estimated, wasted. Already have. I know for a fact, David, you're in over $1 million on your display. I know that as a solid fact. Okay? I have no reason to sit here and lie to everybody about this. These are facts. Okay? I don't know what he owes the studio. There could be storage fees accrued, as far as I know, but I don't know. 2 tractors, okay? $250, still at $125 each. Okay, so 6 trailers, $15,000 to $75,000 each, or a minimum of $90,000. Okay, for 6 trailers. So $15,000 to $75,000 each, or a minimum of $90,000. Cost of operating a truck trailer, $1.76 per mile, not including insurance and road fees. Right, that's just one truck, David. It's one truck. So running one semi-trailer from Taylor to Orlando, right, would be a minimum cost of $2,734 each. And that is without all the other expenses. 5 trucks and trailers equals $13,670 minimum. Renting the Amway, you're out of your league again. Hotels, about $16,000 for 20 rooms. Some will drive there versus flying. Airfares, say 15 people, $4,875 at $325 each. Expenses, $15,000 for feeding the staff, insurance, fees. I mean, you're talking, David, you got to feed people, which we know you probably don't do. I mean, David, just on your stage, it's like you're already in, like your stage alone, you're in over $1 million. I know that. You got to be in over 1.5. I'm guessing you're pushing the 2 million mark now. I'm guessing you're pushing the 2 million mark. Just because of lumber prices, all that stuff. My neighbor builds houses for a living. I was just talking to him the other day. What did he tell me? A 8-foot 2x4 is $9. Then he tells me this too. He's like, I had 26-foot header joist. He put, it's a support beam for his client. $6,000. $6,000 for one 26-foot header joist. And for those of you out there that knows what that is, it's a huge support joist basically. So 26 feet. I'm not sure of the other dimensions on it, but it's a support joist. And so $6,000 is what he told me it costed him to get that joist delivered. And so lumber prices, David, are just outrageous right now. Right? If you would have done the project and had it finished within the first year, you wouldn't be paying these inflation rates you're paying now. The inflation rates I'm guessing just in inflation rates alone, guys, he's got to be pushing at least $300,000 to $400,000 on inflation alone, just on this project. Easily. easily. So just on the short list, David, we're already in over about 1.4 to 1.6 without the Amway expenses, and you haven't been guaranteed to receive $1 in offerings, right? So this is all going on a false pretense, David, that you're going to fill this arena with 20,000 people, which you're not going to do. That's not going to happen because you won't be able to pull it off. You don't have the money. This is what people forget. It's not like David's a paid performer having a concert or event in town where expenses are paid by the promoter and costs are spread out over many events. Bon Jovi doesn't do one-off shows because the expenses would not cover the costs. This is why bands, even with the best deals or promotions, do 25 to 50 show tours. He's not guaranteed $1 from any arena tour. It is a free will offering. 100%. And our contact here had a good point. The music industry itself is shitty. Slipknot even said so itself. Like it really is. Like you get bent over in the music industry, man. You get bent over backwards in the music industry. It is dirty. You pay promoters. You pay more. It takes so much to do stuff like David wants to do. Like to do a tour like that, David, it only gets exponentially more expensive, dude. That's why it's not going to work, because it's like we're talking about. Why do you see big bands do 30, 40, 50 show tours? To pay off the revenue, man. Because to do shows like, say like it's Slipknot at the height of their, I'll use them for an example. Them at the height of their, at the height of their fame. Think how much they were paying out producers, promoters to do their shows. Millions, hundreds of millions. Traveling around the world, that's a lot of money, dude. Packing gear. Think of how much weight costs to move all that gear in an airplane. David, it costs money, dude. It costs big money, David. This is why this isn't going to work, David. And this is from our confidant. He's telling us here, David, here's your lesson from our person here. Here's your lesson, David. You should have had a controller who demanded justifications for expenses. But this just proves it's all about meeting your personal needs. God isn't telling his guy, David, the chosen one, to go into financial hardship while living in a mansion. Think about that for a second, David. God isn't telling you to go into financial hardship while living in a mansion. I would like to think that God's telling you should go out and spread all that good money around that you're just wasting aimlessly on this ridiculous stage idea. It's dumb. Stupid. Dumbest idea I've ever seen. And everybody else that I've passed this through that does this kind of thing has said this is the stupidest idea I've ever seen. And it is. You're wasting donor money, David. You're wasting huge amounts of donor money on this stage, man. And it's not going anywhere. The logistics of it, you can't do it. You can't afford it. You're in over your head. And again, guys, I'm not calling out this production company. They do bang up work, man. I saw the work they did. We've probably seen their stuff in movies and don't know it. Okay? That's the kind of work this company does. This is the kind of research I've done on this company. And the internet's amazing, man. It really is. It didn't take long to find out the company that was producing it. And it didn't take long to do the research, It really didn't. All I had to do was look them up and tell me, hey, this is what they've done. Have no reason not to believe what they've done. They're a professional company. And again, to move this stage, David, let's go back into logistics of it, okay? It's going to take a crew, David, of union laborers to move this stage. You do not understand that, David. Tony and Michelle aren't going to move it. Steve, Ashley, Joseph, they're not going to move it. Who's going to set it up? Who's going to set it up for you? You're going to pay the union laborers? Because usually, David, when you go to an event center like that, like you have to pay up front, okay? You have to pay the money up front. Insurance, taxes, concession fees, all that stuff. You're expecting 20,000 people to show up. Not going to happen. Say you do rent it out, right? Say you do rent out the Amway Arena See, only 100 people show up and you get no donations. Guess what? You still got to pay that concession for 20,000. You still got to pay that concession fee for 20,000 people. And what's even funnier is the fact that Amway Arena let him go in there and do false advertisement. You know, that's what I don't get, is why is an Amway Arena being like, yeah, this guy's full of shit, you know, and nothing's posted on the Amway Arena for 2023 yet. So David out there saying he's going to do it, it's also a lie, because nothing there is posted. He just has it posted on his website saying it's going to be done, but I've checked and nothing is there for David in 2023, guys. It's all another lie. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns about this, leave your comments below. This is all stuff we've done research on. Not just me. I couldn't do this alone, man. I couldn't do this alone, and I want to thank you, everybody who's helped me do the research. Everybody out there has done a part in this. There's people out there who've done a lot. I want to thank you for that. You know who you are. There's people I don't mention here. There's survivors I don't mention here who don't want their stories told yet, or they're not ready to tell them, who are from David's cult. When they're ready to tell their stories, you know, maybe they will. The only way for David to be stopped, the only way David will be stopped, is if people come forward and talk about what they've witnessed, or if they've been a direct victim. I hate to say victim. I'd say survivor at this point, but if you feel you've been victimized by David, let us know. Let us know. Maybe we can put you in touch with the right people so we can get your story out to the right people. David's just the start. David's just the start. Where we got to start is calling out his lies and his bullshit, right? The stage, not going to happen. That's a big lie. Amway Arena, not going to happen. He's put it off for 3 years in a row now. Blame the pandemic. You know, everybody started, from what I've seen, at David's deposition, which is why we're all here now. I was thinking about this earlier too today on the way home. I was taking a drive into town earlier, and I was thinking about like what it takes. It was like I was thinking about how scary of a fact, like what if somebody else was doing this, you know? What if somebody else was in this seat, or somebody else was calling out David? What would the outcome be for them? I don't know. I was just thinking about that. Because I was thinking how kind of scary of a thing it is. I was thinking about religious extremists. You know, it's not David I'm so much scared of. It's the extremists. The ones that will do anything for these people. That will go to whatever lengths to silence somebody. But again, I'm not scared of David. I've had people message me on my business page telling me to ask Michelle and asking me to come do job bids for him and stuff. I'm like, oh, you think this is a joke? Okay. So I have had threats, you guys. And again, why I do this is because it needs to be said, man. It needs to be said. Nobody was calling this asshole out for what he was doing. Like, yeah, the deposition, it's funny and all. It's funny to sit there and see him squirm and say, oh, ask Michelle this, ask Michelle that. You know, that's where we all kind of started. But the deeper you dig into this asshole, it's a very dark, destructive, money laundering, forced labor sex cult. That's the best way, after analyzing it for the last few years and doing the research on it and reading and studying different cults. Yep, David's running a full-blown sex cult, man. And he's using that as a manipulation tactic. I'm going to continue doing this until, as long as it takes, guys. You guys got any questions, comments, concerns today? Leave them below. Again, David, your stage idea. The whole video today was really about your stage idea and why it's not going to work, man. You're in over your head, David. Give it up. Give up your stage. You should just I don't even know, man. Why not just call the production company and tell them you have no intention of finishing the project that you started with them, David? You've spent millions on it, David. It's not going to work, not going to happen, and you're in over your head on the Amway